One of the biggest mysteries in The Walking Dead is what happened to Heath. The former showrunner of the original Walking Dead show, Angela Kang, said the seeds were already set there when answering a question about if Jadis traded him to the CRM, but we don't have any confirmation on what happened to him if he was. We last saw Heath in season 7 episode 6, on a supply run with Tara. They were outnumbered by walkers. She fell and washed up at Oceanside, but Heath was never seen again. Tara later returned to where he disappeared, and we just see his broken glasses, vehicle wheel marks in the dirt, and a white card with PPP written on it. Today I'm going to change how you see Heath forever and completely solve the PPP mystery with even more evidence. Of course, make sure you press the like button on the video, it does help me out, and make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell set to all so you never miss a video from me. So it was suggested that Heath was traded to the CRM by Jadis, and apart from what Angela Kang said, the clues we do actually have, the tyre marks and the RV Heath and Tara were in, being missing too, because this RV seen with Jadis is theirs. We did see her attempt to take people quite a few times, so it makes sense, but the difference with them and Heath is we haven't seen Heath since. Now, when people are traded to the CRM, we know there's two things that can happen to them. They can be an A or a B. We knew what this meant for years, but in The Ones Who Live, Okafor confirmed it. A's have a strength. They die for what they believe in. They are leaders. People follow A's. The A's are sent away and killed. The B's are everyday people just trying to survive and are let in. Jadis said Rick was a B so that he could live.
I had an A, but I said that he was a B so he wouldn't end up in your mother's lab. I owed him that much.
So surely we can look back at Heath and decide which one he would fit under, but before we do, remember what General Bill said.
We have embeds, spies in selected communities throughout the continent and the world to monitor them, to potentially sabotage them, to influence their politics and approaches.
This is quite a recent confirmation in The Walking Dead. That's really big. In the final episode of The Ones Who Live, while the CRM are being briefed about the upcoming attack on Portland, we see on the whiteboard behind Thorne likely the plan of the attack with the gas, and reclamation and PPP exception. We saw in Fear what reclamation is. It's basically removing life and evidence of the CRM from a specific area that is compromised, including hunting down the Isabel character in that episode, as she was a CRM soldier that broke the rules. I can't stand, I'm not going to get into it. We have evidence for what it does, but not exactly what it's an acronym for. I would say right now, Priority Placement Program or Priority Personnel Protection, but either way, an exception. If you have this card, you are made an exception. So who would the CRM be giving special exception cards to? Surely it's these spies Bill was talking about. The spies in these communities have this card, and it means you are an exception. You aren't killed because you saw something or because you're a member of a certain community that was being monitored like the others. You are escorted out. This is how soldiers would identify that person is one of the spies, and Heath had one. He dropped it and was never seen again. And just to remind you that we have really likely seen spies before, remember Lance was assigning this Shearer character to fake being Stephanie, the woman that Eugene was talking to on the radio, to get information out of them. She was also told to do exactly what Bill said their spies do, influence their politics, sabotage them. There was also Roman, who pretended to be a plumber and was working with Shearer. They were his two spies. And remember the very blatant talking about the CRM that Lance did.
I used some of them to send out a convoy full of supplies for that other thing.
If something happens to me, certain alliances the Commonwealth has, certain stabilizing factors, are likely to become a problem.
That episode is only about to be about 3 years ago, so just because we've not seen much after that yet, there's still a lot to happen. So we have to look at what Heath fits under. We know the CRM killed A's, and they're the people with a strength and people that can be followed. I don't think that fits Heath. Not to say he doesn't have a strength, but when Rick and the group showed up while he was out on a supply run for weeks, he came back to find people had died, and now Rick was the leader. He showed he was upset when he overheard Rick talking about the weaker people of Alexandria not making it, but apart from that, he followed them. He didn't put up a fight at all, and he didn't like that they had to kill. So unless Jadis just said Heath was an A and got him bitten and sent off, going by the CRM's logic, Heath isn't an A. When Gabriel caught Jadis talking to them, she told him what was happening and said, "You can come with me," and we know now her plan was to have him be a B so that he could go with her, but as soon as he put up a fight and said, "No, I'm not going to go with you, I'm going to tell Rick," that made him an A.
I thought you were a B.
But we saw here broken glasses. Doesn't this mean Heath put up a bit of a fight too? Would that make him an A? As we've said, the Bs aren't leaders, they're the everyday people. The CRM wouldn't see them as a threat, so they're taken in to do hard labour and eventually let into the city, and they can't leave or tell anyone about it. I think Heath would fit into that, which also explains why he wouldn't have come back yet, because he can't. Now, of course, Rick and Michonne have defeated Bill and that side of the CRM, so the trading system, and I would think a lot of the secrecy. I don't think the current CRM CRM would be putting up banners saying to go there, but I don't think they would be even nearly as brutal. So there's actually a better chance that Heath can appear now and come back and make contact, because we saw the CR have likely made contact with Alexandria and the Commonwealth now. I don't see why Heath wouldn't be able to come back and check in and tell them what happened. People have mentioned, like no one mentioned Heath after, or even attempted to look for him after Tara in that episode, but I think a lot of stuff happens off screen.
You like watching Haircut?
Yes.
But of course, with all this new information we have now, the third possibility is Heath really was a spy for the CRM. He said he was on a supply run for weeks but arrived after Rick and the group arrived. He acted like he had already been there. To Eugene at the gates, he wouldn't know if he was there before or not.
Open the gate.
I'm Eugene.
He said people there would know him, but how do we really know he didn't just walk in and introduce himself there and then? Heath was already at Alexandria, yet all of a sudden was never seen again. Think about how much time has passed in the show, the time jumps they've had, and still no known appearance. Think about how Heath, more than any other character we've ever seen in The Walking Dead, was so disturbed and depressed at how these people dealt with other people just to get supplies. All the dying from people and walkers. The hope he lost, he was so disappointed. How chilling is it to think that Heath could have had the power to have Alexandria destroyed at any point? To say that they're not fit for the CRM to make contact.
If it's you, or someone else, you choose you. We thought...
What?
It doesn't matter.
But what could really happen with Heath in the future? I've always thought of it as like when Madison fake died on Fear. She was killed for a bit, but the card could have always been played very bluntly because we didn't see it. I think the answer is simply they could. They could play the Heath card. There's a thing of the actor Corey Hawkins not wanting to do it that people have said, you know, he's not actually said that. He went to a show called 24. It's about whether the writers want to bring him back and of course the actor himself. I think they would in the future. But what do we have that answers that actually tells us they would bring him back eventually and not just have him be forgotten? Well, when PPP shows up again. In Tales of the Walking Dead episode 5, we followed Yvonne, played by Jesse T. Usher. He wakes up with these French strangers helping him. He asks for his stuff and we see a family photo and that same type of card, the white card with PPP on it. This, to me, was a huge sign that whatever that was about in season 7 of the main show is being picked back up again. But something really weird, if you go back and watch that episode again, that scene, it's been cut out and weirdly edited to not show it as much, to the point it makes you think maybe they didn't want to show that much, or maybe just discontinue the idea altogether. Davon had memory loss in this episode, so he could have been with the CRM. We don't know for sure because he might not know either. And then just recently in Daryl Dixon season 3 episode 3, so just 2 days ago from when I'm filming this, I had this video planned anyway, so being able to add this is amazing. We see a statue of St. James and Roberto explains to Daryl,
"We leave things for loved ones and write messages on the stones to honor and pray for them."
And someone has left what appears to be a blue and white jacket with PPP written on it. So again, this aligns with what General Bill said about spies all over the world. Someone has lost someone and they likely only found this jacket left of them and has left it here in hopes of them being safe. But this is the one I'm most hesitant about because I looked it up and it looks more like a protective workwear jacket. So this would be personal protective equipment, but in Spanish is protection personal porteria, so PPP. So although maybe not specific to what we've seen with the cards, it can be ambiguous. It's not black and white. It could be an official work jacket, but also teasing the PPP stuff. It's very deliberately placed there, clearly. With PPP being referenced at all in the Daryl show in Spain, this could also mean that part of the CR is still active over there and could be how Daryl and Carol get back home at the end of the show. They run into all these people that give this other group girls. This is what the CRM do. I would love it if at the end of the Daryl show they come in and save them from fast walkers and kicks off the next phase of The Walking Dead. The CRM have always been the thing that brings everything together. Again, we have seen they are in some way collaborating with the Commonwealth. So I think Heath is at one of the places in the CRM, but could equally be somewhere random like Devon was. But whether he's living among the CRM and is yet to return, or just died long ago and was experimented on as a walker, is all up to them and what they can make happen with the actor, or fit into another Rick and or CRM show. Andrew Lincoln recently said a conversation is happening.
Do you ever go back to it?
Yeah, well, there's a conversation happening right now.
Do you ever think, oh, actually, why did I do 9? I could have pulled out of Rick Grimes.
Which is cool to hear, but I think it was obvious from the start that that couldn't really be the ending of Rick. I hate that ending. I think they know that a lot of people are interested in Heath, and even if it's not in the character itself, but just a solid answer to what happened. So I think when it is confirmed by them what happened, I think it will be fulfilling, whether in a show or even one of the writers in an interview saying, yeah, we're not going to do anything with it, but here's what happened. But what do you think? What do you think actually happened to Heath? What do you think is going to happen? Let me know what you think down below. If you enjoyed this, go and watch my Better Call Saul iceberg. It's not just about Better Call Saul, it covers the broader Breaking Bad Oceanside universe, and it's unexpectedly my darkest video. So much goes on in that video. You'll love it. Go and enjoy that. And you'd really like my latest Walking Dead What If video, What If Tyrese Survived. I recreate the whole Walking Dead timeline where Tyrese lived. And watch my latest Walking Dead video where I break down and review the latest episodes of Daryl Dixon Season 3 and talk about how wildfire, the thing that made the walkers and is in them, is changing and why that means Rick is coming back. Press the like button on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new with the notification bell set to all so you never miss a video from me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.
Hey, it's good to see someone like me. I fully respect the hair game.